Hey folks, it's February already, and there's a lot happening indoors as well as outdoors. Interesting stuff, whatever you're interested in. Now, indoors is the NRA's annual Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg that runs from Saturday, February 5th through the 13th. Outdoors, the robins are going wild over holly berries, and pretty soon the woodcock will be making an appearance in Pennsylvania woods. Some great stuff to look forward to, as you'll see. But right now, when we go out in the open. Out in the Open is brought to you by statewide abstract and national abstract companies. For 35 years, the Pocono choice when you need a real estate title research company. By Buck Hill Firearms, the Northeast's #1 online retailer of firearms. By B&B Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Honesdale, a family-owned and operated new and pre-owned car and truck dealership trusted for the best price and service since 1970. By the Car Firearms Group, the #1 choice of personal carry, and the Tommy Gun Warehouse in Greeley, where you will find the largest retail showroom in the Northeast for all kinds of new and used firearms. Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Out in the Open. I'm Alex Zedok.
And I'm Joanne Zedok. We've got some more wonderful, it's very different this time, wonderful information, but it's very different.
Yeah, we got a phone call from Cousin Marie down in Bucks County, and she said the robins, the birds, were in town at her holly tree and come for the berries. So we've got that, and we're going to play that for you. But there's a lot going on, Joanne. Even though it's like February and it's winter's hanging on, we still have snow. We still have a lot of things happening. There are people doing some ice fishing.
Right.
But the big thing now are the shows, and there's a lot of outdoor shows that are coming up, and one specifically is the Harrisburg Outdoor Show, the Great American Outdoor Show that the NRA puts on down in Harrisburg, and we're going to go down and do that show.
Take a look. We're going to enjoy it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much again. There's so much to teach you.
That's right. And we got Tim Flanigan to talk about woodcock, because the woodcock are starting to come in now. They'll be starting to come in February, March, in that area, and kinds of things. And he's probably the foremost expert on woodcock, at least in the United States or everywhere in the world, I would think. Wrote a fantastic book, and we're going to promote that a little bit later. But he's got the story about the woodcock, and we think you'll enjoy that one too.
I think so, because it's a different point of view. It's not like seeing the robins, which are very, very interesting. It's not like seeing the chickadees. It's very different.
Absolutely. The woodcock are a great game bird, and he knows all about them. Anyway, we got a great show for you. A little this, a little that. We think you'll enjoy it. So stay tuned, because we'll be right back.
The Jug Handle Inn is all about good times and amazing food. Our menu features nachos, fries and tots, monster burgers, and fresh salads. And don't forget the Jug's award-winning wings. Our menu will satisfy any craving. The Jug is perfect for lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack. Show up, kick back, and relax, and let our friendly staff take good care of you. Come enjoy good times, great friends, and the excitement of watching all the games. Rediscover the Jug Handle Inn, Cinnamonson.
Fishermen use anise oil to mask human scent on lures and bait, and deer don't object to anise either. You can use anise-infused soap every day. Get the all-natural, handcrafted sports bar with oil of anise from Marie Soap. Go to mariesoap.com. Order today.
Hi, this is Tim Flanigan talking about the American woodcock, one of my favorite subjects. It's one of our famous upland game birds. The ruffed grouse and the American woodcock are the classic combination of upland game birds in North America, especially in the Northeast states. Whoever coined the old axiom, "the early bird gets the worm," must have surely been considering the American woodcock. The American woodcock is an upland shorebird who long ago abandoned the shore for damp upland forest, and he definitely is a worm eater. It has a long prehensile bill that can probe deep in the soil and where it detects worms and pull them up for its diet. the woodcock requires nearly its full body weight in earthworms per day. They eat a few other things too, small insects and beetle larvae and so forth, but their diet is mainly earthworms. Now, they migrate very early southward. These birds migrate from northern Canada and Maine and the New England states all the way down along the East Coast, clear down to Louisiana, Florida, and eastern Texas. In the spring, they do that early in the fall, and they try to stay just ahead of the freezing conditions that freeze the ground so that they cannot gather their earthworm diet. In the springtime, the hens migrate back northward very, very early and well ahead of the males. They do so, I believe, because they feel the urge to procreate. They feel the eggs enlarging and growing in their bodies, and they know that the breeding time is imminent. You will find woodcock nesting here in southern Pennsylvania on the 1st of April, and sometimes find them with snow, nesting with snow all around the nest, a late snow. We find them returning to Pennsylvania in about the third week of February. And it seems that the snow and weather be darned, they just come right on back here in late February with the urge to nest and breed and nest. When they return to our areas and return to Pennsylvania in February, they may find the terrain completely covered with snow. A few open spots like spring seeps and damp areas in the lowlands, and also the edges of little streams. They particularly like lowland thickets. Along these edges of streams and in these spring seeps, they can still find worms, even though the rest of the ground is under a foot or two of snow. If you get a chance to watch one of these woodcock feeding along a spring seep, you'll notice that they move back and forth and shuffle their feet. Their feet are very large and full of thousands of nerve endings that sense a worm moving. You'll see them rocking back and forth along the edges of the streams while keeping their feet wet. The moving water keeps their feet from freezing and also tends to enhance the feel of the nerves. When they feel an earthworm moving along the edge of the spring seep, along the edge of the stream, you will see them probe quickly and deeply with that long bill and pull up an earthworm. They've got to have nearly their weight in earthworms a day, and that's no mean trick in the middle of wintertime in late February. These birds are very, very skilled at finding that food. They not only eat just the earthworms, but any little crustaceans or little larvae for nymphs and so forth, they will ingest those as well. They feed voraciously, nearly constantly, because they have to obtain almost their full body weight in worms or in food, especially worms, and they defecate very rapidly. They'll eat voraciously for extended periods of time, and about every minute or so they'll defecate. Their metabolism system is extremely, extremely rapid. They pause often to preen. They'll feed voraciously and stop and preen vigorously, because while they're feeding in these wet areas, their feathers tend to get wet, and wet feathers do not insulate well. So the birds eat voraciously, preen vigorously, and then they occasionally nap. Every 15-20 minutes, if you're watching one of these birds, and the way to see this is find a spring seep where there's a bird working and just sit very still and watch it. Binoculars are a great help. You'll notice that about every 15 to 20 minutes, the bird will stop, pause, turn its head 180 degrees to the rear, and lay its bill down over its back, close its eyes for a short nap. Must take a lot of effort to probe for those worms as vigorously as they do. But they do take these short naps and recover very quickly. It's really amazing how these birds are such tremendous survivors. The ruffed grouse and the woodcock are two of the most skilled survivors despite weather that the good Lord has ever made. And they return here in February. They've got a real task ahead of them to survive and be able to survive in good condition, because to lay eggs, you must have a lot of body fat, a lot of reserves, and these birds are able to do that. And they survive by feeding in these spring seeps while keeping their feet from freezing in the water, and feed, preen, and nap is their procedure. Sometimes they will move on. They'll stay in an area for a few days if the feeding is good and move on. They migrate at night. They'll just disappear overnight. And if we get a real heavy snow, they may return back southward. It's uncommon for them to get trapped in very difficult winter weather and perish. Some do. On occasion, we lose some woodcock to weather conditions, but by and large, the vast majority of them survive and are able to move on northward to their breeding grounds. After the snow is gone, the much smaller males will arrive and breeding will commence. In Pennsylvania, most of the breeding occurs in late March and early April, and the birds will go to nest in early April. Doesn't take long for them to hatch either. And then they lay 4 eggs, and they're very skilled at hatching those chicks. And those 4 chicks, when they hatch, look very much like miniature versions of mom. They got little beaks, rather long beaks, and they're precocial. They leave the nest almost within a minute or two after hatching. They'll leave their nest and move out through the forest with mom while she shows them how to probe for worms. So let's celebrate the American woodcock, the ultimate survivor, and the earliest returning migratory bird. They are absolutely amazing. Hope you get to see some this spring. All the best, folks. Bye now.
It's been years in the making. Tim Flanigan's landmark upland hunting masterpiece is finally here. This new coffee table style edition, The Birds of My Life, Grouse and Woodcock, is a lifetime of extraordinary hunting experience vividly brought to life by Wild River Press. At 11 by 8.5 inches, with 413 all-color pages, it contains rare photographs of grouse and woodcock, the result of spending thousands of hours in the field. This is the Upland Game Book to have and to give. Order your copy today directly from wildriverpress.com. Real estate law is our business. Need an abstract title search company near Stroudsburg, Mount Pocono, Pocono Lake, Lake Naomi, Blakesley? Call National Abstract at 570-646-4110. For offices near Scranton, Clark Summit, Lake Wallenpaupack, Lords Valley. And for general information, call 570-226-6229. For 35 years helping people with real estate, we're a Pocono experience you can't afford. Call 570-226-6229.
Buck Hill Firearms, located at 115 Route 390 in Cresco, Pennsylvania. You never have to make an appointment. We're open 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Buck Hill Firearms is a full-service sports shop including hunting and fishing equipment and live bait. Buck Hill Firearms NRA certified instructors are here to help you choose the gun that's right for you. Buck Hill Firearms, 115 Route 390 at the corner of Route 390 and 940 in Cresco, Pennsylvania. Check out our website at buckhillfirearms.com.
Better and better. Don't be shy, stop by and see why so many folks rely on B&B for the best buy. Easy to find in Honesdale. We're making deals on all types of wheels. Brand new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and the cleanest pre-owned vehicles in the land. For big choices and the best buys, head to B&B, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Honesdale, where smart buyers shop first. B&B, better and better.
To translate a vision into reality is true innovation. At Car Arms, we not only manufacture some of the most advanced firearms on the market, we build assurance and reliability through a solid history of quality. We pride ourselves on offering concealable, performance-driven firearm systems that exceed expectations time and time again. Car Arms, American ingenuity at its finest.
Hi, Alex and Joanne. This is Cousin Marie from Bucks County. The berries are ripe on my holly tree and the birds have arrived.
Berries of the holly tree are toxic to animals and humans. However, the bright red berries are not poisonous to American robins. And in January and February, When the fruit is ready, robins will flock to the trees, ingesting up to 3/4 of their body weight in a single day. Now, while the summer diet for robins is primarily insects such as grasshoppers and crickets, their winter favorite is the holly berries, but only when the berries are ripe, soft, and rich in sugar. Some say they see holly-eating robins staggering around on the ground or flying erratically because they become drunk eating too many fermented berries. Other folks say the robins have just had too much to eat, get lethargic, and have trouble walking and flying, carrying that additional weight. Robins have been around for 12 million years, making them one of the oldest living bird species on Earth. They have a lifespan of about 2 years, and their feathers change colors depending on what they eat. You can see the robins pick and choose which berries they eat, dropping the harder, less ripe ones to the ground. But as berries lay on the ground, they ripen, and some birds prefer more stable footing for feeding, so no berry goes to waste. Robins do migrate, but more so seeking food than warmer temperatures. After the berries here in eastern Pennsylvania are gone, robins will move south to find more food. Constant temperatures above 37 degrees, and when the ground softens and insects become available again, will bring flocks of robins back to our area in time for the spring breeding season. Oh, and another interesting fact, robins rarely sing in winter, but you certainly know it's spring when the singing robins, seeking mates, return to Pennsylvania, building nests, laying and nursing those bright blue eggs that will replenish the flock that will return to Cousin Marie's holly tree next winter.
We're talking to old friend Connie Spindler, and Connie's from Maryland, and is always preaching and pushing and talking about Maryland, all the great things, and she doesn't have to talk to Joanne and I much about that because we like Maryland, and we come down and we do fishing and we do everything else. We spend a lot of time in Maryland.
Yes, and we have a program, it's called Fish and Hunt Maryland, and we're at the Pennsylvania Outdoor Show. We have a fishing booth and a hunting booth, so please come see us and learn more about the specifics.
How can they get more information? And before that, what's really new? What's happening in Maryland right now and in the spring? Anything new?
Well, there'll be new rockfish regulations. We don't know quite yet what they will be. There's still meetings and discussions being had with regards to that. Otherwise, we've got a number of new outfitters. Maryland has an invasive fish called the northern snakehead.
Oh, the snakehead, and people are even starting to eat them.
Yeah, oh my God, they're delicious. They're so good. It's nice, tender meat. But we have a number of outfitters that now will take you out, boat fishing for the snakeheads and really get you on big fish.
I know, and we're not going to try snakeheads soon because last year was a bumper crop for Maryland crabs, and we went down, Joanne and I, tried to help disseminate that a little bit, and we took a toll on the crabs.
Yeah, you gotta keep the balance on the crabs, but a lot of people don't realize that crabs are best in September and October. At that point, they've had a lot of time to really build up all that sweet meat inside. So
yeah, they're delicious, and we've gone down and we've had crabs learn how to eat crabs and break them and all different varieties and ways and things like that. If people were interested in getting some more information about coming down to Maryland for fishing or hunting, what can they do?
Well, there's two websites I'm going to give you. One is fishandhuntmaryland.org, and the other is visitmaryland.org. Now, Visit Maryland is our tourism site, so that'll show you where to go and stay and some of the other things to do. And then the Fish and Hunt Maryland website will give you all the information about the species and where they can be found and the seasons, and then it'll also connect you up with guides and outfitters.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Good to see you again. Take care. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
We'll talk a little bit more about this bait, especially when we get to the deep water part. So if I'm up here and I'm fishing a shallow water flat, so let's say it's the size of this whole building here. We're in 4 feet of water and there's sand patches. There might be some boulders. There might be some grass patches, some transition. Heck, I might be on a break where it's 20 feet of water here and where you guys are all standing, it's 4 feet. And so I'm just looking for cruising fish. I'm just trying to find them.
Designed by Tim Flanigan.
Out in the Open is brought to you by statewide abstract and national abstract companies. For 35 years, the Pocono choice when you need a real estate title research company. By Buck Hill Firearms, the Northeast's #1 online retailer of firearms. By B&B Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Honesdale, a family-owned and operated new and pre-owned car and truck dealership trusted for the best price and service since 1970. By the Carr Firearms Group, the #1 choice of personal carry, and the Tommy Gun Warehouse in Greeley, where you will find the largest retail showroom in the Northeast for all kinds of new and used firearms. Interesting, with the Robbins. I was happy that cousin Marie called us.
Oh,
and we
me
were able to go
too.
down there and do the piece on the Robins because it's happening. It happens all over,
Right.
the state wherever there are Robins. And one thing I didn't realize was that that Robins have been around for a long, long, long time. I mean,
Right.
they're one of the oldest
birds.
Yes, right.
You know, in the country, which is interesting.
What I didn't realize is they would take that little bite of that berry, and if it wasn't right, they'd throw it out.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
would land on the ground and it'd get right, and somebody else would come and get it.
And it's interesting, they don't even chew. You know, some birds have beaks that they can chew and they mash up the
right.
berries to get the seeds out.
Right.
The robins don't. They just got a big gullet, and what they do is they keep stuffing that gullet. You
Say,
know?
oh, I got to
And
buy.
yeah, and you know, it's interesting because I read something. They said, you know, robins get so full of stuff. Some people thought that they actually got inebriated from the fermentation of the grapes.
Right.
But somebody else said, no, that's kind of not true. And I don't know what's true or not. But
I don't
some
either.
people said, you know how you feel after Thanksgiving Day? Full, lethargic, like you don't want to move and you can hardly fly.
Right,
You know? Well, that's like
exactly.
the robins. They can hardly fly. You know? So maybe that's why they act a little strange when, you know, when they eat too much. You know?
Right.
But they sure gorge themselves, and they make those, in a couple days, all those berries will be gone.
It's just
They come in-
incredible that they
just
could go
come in and
so
do it.
fast, but they, you know, they're coming and going all the time from the tree.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to me to see that many. And even when you go outside your car, you walk around, they don't care. They're there to eat those berries.
Absolutely, they move from tree to tree, and they'll move south to get more berries if they run out of them up here. Hey, we hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed bringing it to you. We're going to be doing some traveling and some shows, and we're going to bring those to you. So got a lot of interesting things coming up in the near future. We're going to be here. We're going to be somewhere. We're going to be on the road.
We're going to be out in the open.
Absolutely.